No, it's just funny. Trying out the smells of the room. Hey everyone, I'm Taylor Brown, and we're doing something a little different. This is how I did it with Taylor Brown on point. So let's get straight to the point. On today's show, we're here with Dr. Tyler Logan. Dr. Tyler Logan is a physical therapist. He's a strength and conditioning specialist. He's also an NCAA national champion. And, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it.
Well, I'd start off by saying, as athletes, we put a lot into our sport, whether you're basketball, football, whatever. We put a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of commitment into it. And, as an athlete coming up, whether it's going through high school or college, I wanted a way where, basketball could kind of pay me back. So that kind of set my drive for my hard work off the court as well, because I knew, good grades also can help me as far as good athletics. But part of the reason I got into physical therapy was because I wanted to somehow stay around athletes. And I had physical therapy myself as a senior in high school for my knee. And I saw it as an environment, I could see myself working with. I had a great relationship with my therapist, very, down to earth, very relatable. And it wasn't, some type of corporate job where I had to clock in, clock out, and abide by certain standards. And it allowed me a way to, express myself and build relationships and rapport with people. Also, communication is a big piece when working with patients. And I feel like that relates to basketball as well, communication with your coach or your teammates.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask you, you went from Charles Herbert Flowers High School to play community college. A lot of players, they frown upon that, A lot of players now, they want to say, oh, no, I want to go D1. I want to get a full scholarship, and they try to avoid the community college route. But you went that route. Can you just talk about that?
So actually, I didn't tell you this, but I didn't go straight to PG.
Okay.
I went from Flowers to Frostburg State, which
Okay.
was a Division III school.
Okay.
Yeah, I played there my first year, my freshman year. Money was tight. I had a little academic scholarship there, but I saw myself not paying for school as far as my athletics goes, and I really didn't want to pay for 4 years of school, so I decided to drop out after the season, and I ended up taking courses at PG that summer just so I could be eligible to play my sophomore year. Sorry, what was the original question? I just wanted to make that correction.
No, a lot of players, they try to avoid or they frown upon community college.
So one of the things I knew would get me to the next level, whether it was D1, D2, is good JUCO career. And a lot of my friends from guys around the county were playing JUCO at PG. They had a real successful year. They ended up winning regionals when I was at Frostburg. And it was right down the street from my home. A lot of people did frown upon, going to JUCO. I did too as a high school, and I think that's a bad misconception. Because honestly, like a second chance, A lot of times in high school, it's kind of like early bird gets the worm, If you're good in high school, it doesn't mean you're always going to pan out to be the best once you graduate after those 4 years of college.
Right.
A lot can change in a year, a lot can change in 2 years.
Definitely.
So, I took that chance as, it's right down the street. The coach showed me, he had a pamphlet, a list of players he's gotten full rides to, whether D1 and D2. And he showed me he wanted me, and that was something that really took to heart. So I figured, if I go in, do my work, do what I'm supposed to, I could be like these other guys who come through the program and end up where I want to be.
Good, nice. So what you're doing now? Like I said, you're a doctor, you're a physical therapist. You work with athletes, all kinds of people recovering from injury. What do you enjoy most about your job?
I probably enjoy most that I get to interact with patients, all types of people, and also I get to use my creativeness. I work for a small Black-owned private clinic called Physical and Sports Rehab, which is one of my goals coming out of PT school. Not that it had to be Black, but I didn't want to work for the corporates such as like Pivot, NovaCare, ATI, just because I didn't want to be a number. I feel like those small type of companies like how I work for have a different type of feel to them as a patient when you're going more relatable to your therapist. But that's probably what I enjoy, just to interact. What I enjoy the most, just interacting with different types of people. You know, I do police officers, I do athletes, I do people who are retired, I do veterans.
Right.
So you know, it's just the conversations I hear, the
Yeah.
people I meet.
Yeah, I know. We talk sports all the time. So that leads into my next question. How you said you like that interaction, the connection. You know, talk to me about the mental part of being a physical therapist. One thing I've noticed, you guys are always very positive, and you have to be, because you're constantly working with patients or clients that are kind of down, don't really want to be at PT, don't really want to do it. To be honest, it gets on my nerves, but you got to do it. So just talk about how that can take a toll. Does that take a toll on you? Like, how do you able to come in every day being positive?
You know, this is what I signed up for. I really enjoy helping people. I enjoy improving people's lives, whether it's through motivation I give them to do their exercises, or my manual treatment, or you know, just seeing them improve themselves outside of the clinic. So I think that fuels me to bring a positive attitude every day. And you know, like you said, people are injured, people are hurt, so they're not going to be in the best mood. And it's my job as a physical therapist to try to not compound on that mood they're in. Because you know, I learned in school and you know, outside of school, that the body and the mind kind of work together. You know, there is a psychological aspect to being injured. You know, whether it's fear of re-injury, whether it's just a fear of, you know, if I move this way, it's going to hurt, or fear of, you know, I'm used to this pain, so I feel like it's always going to be there. A fear of it's never going to get better.
Right.
And as physical therapists, we need to have an optimistic outlook, because, you know, having a negative mindset isn't helping us and not helping our outcomes. You know, it's just something. It's just always having a positive attitude to try to get what's best for the patient.
Yeah. Is there a moment in your career where you felt like, where you were helping someone get back on their feet, get healthy, where you just felt like this is it, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Can you give me a moment or story?
Yeah, I actually, during my last internship before I actually graduated PT school, I was working at a clinic in Coward County, and I had a patient who was probably obese. I would say she was obese, right? And she had back pain, and you know, I've been working for her for a couple weeks now, and things were improving gradually, slowly.
Yeah.
But she had expressed interest before about, you know, getting healthy and losing weight, and I noticed she often made like comments about herself, which kind of depicted she may have some low self-esteem issues as well. Like, I'd say like, come on, let's hop up off the table, and she'd be like, you know, oh, I can only, you know, my fat butt can't hop, something like that, some along the lines like that.
Yeah.
And you know, things I just picked up on. And so she mentioned here and there how she wanted to, you know, how she knew dropping a few pounds would help her. So we do our treatment, help her back out, and at the end of the treatment session, I put her on the treadmill and I just have her walk, all right? And every time she came in, we walked a little longer than the first time she came. So we start off 5 minutes, next she come in, start off for 6 minutes. And next time, 7. And that way, she can see the little milestones that are adding up, you know, give her confidence and let her know she can do this, you know?
Yeah.
And once you get to a certain time, we'll bump up the speed half a miles per hour. So 1.5 to 2 miles per hour. And, you know, that was just me, you know, instilling that confidence in her that she can do this, you know, it's not too late for her. And she expressed to me one day that she really appreciates what I did or what I do, and that she feels like she can confide in me and, you know, not be judged, you know, when she feels the need to vent.
That's special. That's special. So what are some of the challenges that you face as a specialist, physical therapist? I know we talked a little bit about the mental aspect, but are there any more challenges that you you face on a daily?
Yeah, challenges is probably balancing several patients at once, which you've probably seen.
Yes.
Along with documentation. So like we have to document you got his treatments. That's
Yeah.
why when you come in, I ask how you're doing.
Why is
things
that?
like
Is it because it's just a lot
insurance?
Okay.
Insurance reasons. So like give us insurance, then we bill the insurance, and that's how we get reimbursed. And it's just protocol. It's nothing too serious. It's just tedious. It's tedious. So probably that, and also humans aren't perfect. So just how I was late today, humans coming late, and one person comes in late, throws off the whole schedule.
Right.
That can have a domino effect. And also being COVID right now, we're not allowed to have as many people or as many tables in our clinic, which we're used to having.
Yeah.
So that kind of can back up things as far as people waiting for their scheduled appointment, depending on how much availability we have there at the time. So I just, not the difficulties aren't really patient structured, but it's just kind of like logistics.
Gotcha. So I gotta ask you, I know we talk sports, basketball all the time. Who do you think is the best player in the NBA right now, or WNBA? Let's go with NBA first.
All right, I'm gonna say Kevin Durant, man. And I told you, man, I have a little DMV bias in me, which is to my fault, but I think he's the best player in the NBA. Not by much, but this moment, 2021. I think Kevin Durant is better than a 36-year-old LeBron James.
Ooh, okay.
I mean that's who it's between.
All right. You're familiar with WNBA or
I
anything?
am.
Okay.
I can't. I honestly can't pick, man. I can't pick. There's several names that come to my head.
Yeah.
My favorite is Diana Taurasi.
Okay.
But there's the Maya Moores. There's the Breonna Stewarts. So those are the first three that I think of, but I know there's a bunch.
Yeah.
There are others. Like I said, Candace Parker's still in the league, but I don't think she's the best. But there are a lot, and I don't think it'd be fair to me to.
Yeah.
I don't want to stir up any more feelings that I've already done with NBA.
All right. I like that answer. So we're down to our last three questions.
All right, cool.
First question: what inspires you?
What inspires me? The feedback I get from others. Like I said, I like helping people. I enjoy it. It's just a feeling of accomplishment when you can help somebody with their problems. You could be the source. Yeah. But also, as a physical therapist, I don't want you to depend on me to always be that source to help you with your problems. My goal is to teach you how to cope and deal with things on your own, so you don't need me after a while. I think a good physical therapist or a good doctor is constantly working himself out of a job, so his patients can take care of themselves, and in the future don't need him unless something occurs.
Right. I like that. Number 2, what is your pet peeve?
Dealing with what?
Anything in general.
My pet peeve.
Like, for example, one of my pet peeves, it's actually a new one.
Okay.
I established this in one of my interviews, is really the pandemic was probably the biggest pet peeve.
All right. Okay. What was it?
Because, like, it forced me to be patient. So it was a pet peeve for me.
All right. I think one of my pet peeves, and unfortunately I pick up on this a lot, when I hear people talk, and I do this myself, humans do it, but when a person is getting interviewed or speaking, public speaking, and they use the same, I guess, pause word every time, like how some people say or some people say, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I pick up on that like spot on, and that's all I hear after that.
Right.
You see it in coaches with interviews, they say this, and you know what I mean? And it's just like a reaction, or what do you call it? Not a reaction, but it's just second nature.
Yeah.
To do that. Some people say some people say everybody does it, but I've heard it constantly, even with professional athletes or coaches who are used to public speaking.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I just want them to change it up. Like, I don't mind you doing that, but
right.
You saying the same word 76 times.
Switch it up sometimes, yeah. Third question, guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure?
Candy,
Candy,
chocolate. You know, I am a health professional, and you know, I do advocate for a good diet, but I probably have the biggest sweet tooth
Okay.
of my PT class for sure, and probably at my job too.
Okay.
Part of, you know, people see me, they say I'm a good build, you know, I'm lean,
Yeah.
but they look at me and eat and they were like, how are you like this? Like, people get jealous that, like, sometimes I eat trash,
Yeah.
but I really don't eat trash. I eat a balanced diet. I still
Okay.
get my veggies in, still get my protein, still get all that,
Yeah.
but I definitely dabble in the sweets.
Sweets. Is there a particular sweet that you like the most?
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Okay. That used to be my thing in college.
It was a childhood thing, and I lost touch with it. Like preteen, teenager, I was really into Skittles. But
Okay.
then we rekindled once I got to like college for some reason.
Got you. Cool. Well, Tyler, those are all my questions for you today. Will you be back? You do another one?
I would love to do another one.
Cool. I appreciate it. This was dope. This was dope. Good talk.
All right, thank you.
All right, so guys, that's a wrap. This was episode, I want to say 17, and of how I did it with Taylor Brown on point. Thank you guys for watching. I'd like to take the time to thank my sponsors, Spacey Cloud and The Loop, for sponsoring this podcast. And I'd like to give a shout out to Rigo Productions for this amazing production today that we did live on YouTube. So stay tuned for episode 18, coming soon. That's it.